Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah ma ba'd. Okay, so the question is asking what is the difference between a hadith which is sahih and a hadith which is hasan. Now, I was going to basically just share what we do as part of the Mustalah Hadith in the 3-year course, but that video was probably about an hour long. So I'm just going to summarize all of that into these few moments here. Right? What makes a hadith sahih? The hadith which is authentic has 5 conditions to it. Number 1, ittisal as-sanad. The chain has to be connected. If there is a break in the chain, if there is a cut in the chain, if there is multiple cuts in the chain, the hadith is not authentic. Number 2 and number 3, that the person who is narrating the hadith in each stage has to have adala and dabt. Al-adala refers to his truthfulness himself, meaning is he a person that is true? How do we know if he is true? The ulama look at his piety. If he is fulfilling what is the wajibat and he is staying away from open muharramat, that person has al-adala. Just generally speaking, like I said, in the actual course we go through it in more detail. And there could be exceptions and there are principles within this principle. Then you've got al-dabt, and al-dabt refers to his precision, meaning he could be a person that is upright, he's a nice guy, he's fulfilling all of his wajibat, he's staying away from all the muharramat. However, when it comes to narrating narrations, he doesn't have al-dabt. Al-dabt here, we're talking about precision. Now, this precision can come about either through memorization, so he is precise and he's memorized it, or his precision could be through kitaba, meaning that he's got precision, but it's not through memorization, it's what he's relying on when it comes to his notes. That's very important, because if you've got a person who's relying on his memory, his notes could be weak. Or if a person who's relying on his notes, his memory could be weak. Right? Okay. Now, how do you know that the person has adala and dabt? In 2 ways. One, through tazkiyah from the ulama. So you will find this in the books of Rijal, full, such and such person is thiqah, such and such person is maqbul, such and such saduq, etc. Or the second way is known as al-istifada. Now this is very important when it comes to the knowledge of jarh wa ta'dil. Either the person has a tazkiyah or al-istifada. Al-istifada is where the person becomes known with the way of the ulama. He becomes known and the ulama then accept him. But he might not necessarily have a tazkiyah from the ulama. Al-istifada. And again, more details of that is found in the more detailed version. Then the fourth condition, so the first one is ittisal, the second one al-adala, number 3 al-dabt, number 4 adam al-illa. So now you could have a chain, you could have the narrators are connected, but there can't be any impediments in any of that. Now these impediments can go back to the riwayah and it can go back to the dirayah. The riwayah is the actual chain itself, and it could even be an impediment in the actual text itself. And khali min al-shudhuz, and the ulama have said, especially when it comes to diraya, which is the actual text itself, it can't be an anomaly. I'll give you an example of that, where some of the ulama have said, إِنَّكَ لَا تُخْلِفُ الْمِئَةِ, to the dua of the adhan, is shadh, because none of the other narrators narrated it. So now when we're talking about adam al-illa, the illa could be in the riwayah, and it could be in the diraya. The riwayah is the chain, the diraya and the people involved in the chain, and it could be in the diraya, which is the actual text itself. But if the text is not in line with anything else, what we find from the other narrations or the sharia, then that has its own specific illah, which is known as being shadh. Now, if these 5 conditions have been met, ittisal as-sanad, with narrators who have adala and dabt, and there is no illa, adam al-illa or al-shudhuz, then the hadith is sahih. However, then now here's the question. What's the difference between sahih and hasan? Well, first and foremost, we have to understand that the ulama have categorized, and this is well known from the ulama, the salaf, hadith into 2 categories, maqbul and da'if. Maqbul is whatever is accepted, And da'if is what is rejected because it is weak. Okay. Now within maqbul, you've got different gradings. Okay, so you've got we've got sahih li dhatihi, sahih li ghayrihi, hasan li dhatihi, hasan li ghayrihi. Now, what is the difference between hasan and then sahih? When all of it is maqbul, what we're basically saying here, all of it is accepted, but they are not of the same level. So the hadith becomes hasan. It's not authentic, but it is good and acceptable because of problems which could exist as an illah, number one. And this is talking about the riwayah, like we said before. And also in the riwayah because there could be some kind of disconnection. But if the diraya is not in line with the rest of the sharia and the narrations in it, then this, generally speaking, will not be hasan. So when does it become downgraded to hasan? It is in the riwayah, generally speaking. And this is because there is an illah either in the dabt, meaning there is a weakness either in the dabt or the adalah, or in the way that it's been ittisal al-sanad, in the way that it's been connected. And then the ulama go on talking about how we know these things. And again, like I said, more detail on that will be found in when you study the science of the hadith and in the full course version. Because like I said, what I've just summarized here is maybe 4 hours, 6 hours worth of studies into these few moments with a lot of principles and a lot of examples that you'll find in the longer version. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us of those who understand and follow in the best possible way. Allahu a'lam.